What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Life is Cooler with AC. I'm your host, Alex Cunningham, and today is one of my absolute favorite comedians, Chase O'Donnell. How you doing, Chase?
Hi, I'm doing great. So happy to be here.
Oh, you guys don't even realize what it has taken for us to get to this moment.
We did it. Yeah.
We finally figured it out.
Mhm.
It's weird. Like, I'm nervous. I'm like starstruck.
Oh,
You guys,
stop.
you guys don't even know. Chase and it's been what? I think it's been over 2 years since we've been on a show together. I think we had a show in the beginning of 2020, right?
We did Uncle Clyde's together, and then
Yeah, because you hosted.
then we had another show, I guess, 2020.
Yeah, I think it was like it had to be January or February of 2020 because that's the one where Whitney Cummings dropped in. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my God, she was so nice.
I know. Yeah. And like it was so unexpected. She was just like, yeah, I'm going to do 20 minutes in the middle of the show. And it was like, all right. Yeah, that sounds great to
Yeah,
me.
and I was like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And she's like, "Of course." And so we took a picture, and she's like, "Do you want to do another?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
And
of
then we did
course.
another, and she's like, "The lighting's not that great. Do you want to do another?" And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
"Okay." She like didn't mind taking like 7 pictures till we got it right.
See, it's so cool when you have people do stuff like that. Which that night, I waited till like later in the show, and I remember like going up to you, like people were still on stage, and I was like, Chase, do you think she'll take a picture with me? And you're like, yeah, just go ask. But she had a show in the big room, or the main room, so like I had just missed her. But no, she was like, from what I could tell, like just super down to earth, which is always a blessing, whenever it comes
I
to
know.
celebrities.
So nice whenever that happens.
Yeah, well, which you probably meet all kinds of celebrities now. Well, I know you
Well,
do.
I met a lot of celebrities working on Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Yeah.
and I was the person on set that took care of them.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm the worst person. I don't know why they gave me that job because I am the most starstruck person ever. And I would have to like rehearse before I like knocked on any trailer. I would stand in front of the trailer and rehearse what I was gonna say because I knew if I didn't, I don't know what I would say.
You
So I
just
have
lock
to like
up.
memorize it before, and all I'd have to be is like 5 minutes, like I'd
You
have to
already had your line, but you didn't.
I'd have to practice. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I
well,
I was so nervous in front of celebrities.
you have a picture that I think you just posted it in your story on Instagram, but it was you with a picture or with a shirt of Larry David, and then he was standing next to you, and I was like, I was telling all kinds of people about this picture, and I was like, I know this girl, I've done comedy with her, and then I was like, let me show you this picture because one of my friends is a huge fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm, so I was like, I got to show you this picture, but then it was gone, it wasn't on, so you have to send me that picture if you
Oh,
still have it.
okay, maybe I should post that on my grid then.
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
like it was like my favorite picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's very blurry. I told my friend, I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go walk behind Larry, and you're gonna have to snap the photo." And the second I got behind Larry, he decided it was time to get up and move. So we got him in an action moving, but
That's
I'm standing
awesome.
behind him in his shirt.
Yeah, no, when I saw that, I was like, this is probably you will never get a more perfect picture. Like it was so authentic. But so
Yeah, and he saw the shirt too, and he's like, "Huh, that's me." And I was like, "That's me."
yeah, no, that's awesome. So yeah, are you currently working? No, you're on tour right now.
Well, the new season, the Curb Your Enthusiasm got picked up, and the new season starts in October. So I'll
Okay,
have to decide if I'm going to go back or not.
gotcha. See, that must well because you're not even home right now, are you?
I'm home.
Oh, you
Yeah,
are? Okay. Well, because I
yeah.
just saw pictures like 6 hours ago or 16 hours. I don't know. But you were
In
in like
Miami,
Miami. Yeah. Like what?
I was tagged in the throwback, and
Oh,
I posted it, and I've been getting a lot of people being like, "Oh, you're in Miami."
gotcha. Yeah.
I keep people on their toes.
Hey, no, that's good
No
because like
one
when I
knows where I am.
Hey, well, that's a that's a good place to be. I was telling my wife, I was like, "We're gonna do this podcast," but she said at this time, and my wife was like, Isn't she in Miami?" And I was like, "I think so." She's like, "So you better ask her what time zone she's talking about." So that's why I was like, "This is the one we're talking about, right?" Like,
Can you imagine? That would be just our luck if we were talking about two different
oh
time zones.
yeah, like
Because we're in
honestly,
Texas, so
right?
I
Yeah,
I couldn't even guess what time it is there. Is it 9 o'clock where you are?
9 o'clock. Yeah,
Okay, well I guess I guessed
yeah.
correctly.
I couldn't even guess, but here it is.
I get very confused with time zones. It's
Oh,
just
I
six
bet.
time
Yeah, because
zones.
you were just not too long ago. Well, you were here, and it made me mad because my wife was in Indiana, and you were here on what the 10th of June, and she flew in back from Indiana on the 10th of June. I think you were here the 10th and the 11th.
No, I wasn't.
No, you weren't.
Christina performed though.
Oh, see, I thought you were with her that day.
Again, I keep you on your toes.
No, I'm always watching. I'm like, where's Chase at today?
No, I couldn't go to that one. It was booked like um not last minute, but I had already had plans that weekend that I couldn't get out of, so I had to
Oh.
miss shows.
See, and are you just like pretty much her you're her opener now? Like
Yeah,
that's your gig?
so I just kind of have to keep up on her website wherever she's going. I kind of just find out when she posts about it on
Oh,
her
well, that's awesome.
website. So I find out with everyone where we're going.
Oh, hey, no, because not too long ago, I mean, it may have been a while now, but you guys were in Boston, right?
Yeah, no, that was just a few weeks ago. It was
Okay,
amazing.
yeah. Yeah, that see, and like truly, like I've talked to several people on here, and like I'm a huge fan of comedy, so like I love talking to
Sure.
comedians, but like keeping up with you, and I know that you've been doing comedy for quite some time now, but kind of knowing the situation where we were on that Uncle Clyde's comedy contest and you won, and then that was the first round, and then you went on to win the next round, and it was like now you get to open up for like a national touring artist, and then
I
it's like
know.
wow, like that was a real like you won. That's phenomenal.
Oh my God, I know that was such a like cool competition we got to do. And
Yeah,
yeah, I feel like the people we met in those like in our round and like every time I feel like we made good friends from that competition. It was cool to meet
absolutely.
everybody in it.
Yeah, and like that's what was so cool about Flappers, and like it kind of really hurt to see how bad they were struggling whenever COVID hit, and like it shut them down,
No,
which I think they're doing fine now. But Flappers was honestly just like such a supportive club, and like they had me back like at least once a month, and it was just it was such a fun.
yeah.
Like not even just like the staff, but like just the group of comedians that they would bring in all the time was just so incredible.
Shout out to Flappers. I mean, yeah, I had a show there and I walked in like I like peeked in the main room and it was Jay Leno.
Oh
I was
yeah,
like,
no big
oh,
deal.
no big deal.
Yeah,
Okay,
whatever.
great.
Are you still doing shows there when you're not out on tour?
Yeah, I haven't done a show there in a couple months though.
Okay.
I need to be better at like when I get back from shows, I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna take a breather, but I
Yeah.
should be better about reaching out to places and making
See,
sure I'm doing shows all the
like that's a great segue into a question.
time.
How do you find that balance though? Because you are on tour and then you are working, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, and so you have so much stuff going on. So like how do you find that, like okay, I got to step away from all of the entertainment for a minute.
That is the best question ever. I have no idea. I don't think I do have balance. I think I'm the busiest person. I know. I know I'm not, but I'm dramatic and I'm like,
Right.
oh my God, I just run from one thing to the next and I don't give myself any time to just like take a breather. And I told myself this week because I've been feeling very overwhelmed because I've
Mhm.
just been like, even when I'm home, I'll travel for shows just to like Santa Barbara or San Diego,
Right.
which is still like a drive and a travel.
Yeah, a few hours each direction.
Yeah, and I did shows in Nevada City, which was like
Oh
an
yeah.
8-hour drive. Like I'm still, I just keep myself busy, and I told myself I need to. only do 2 things a week. I think that's all
Oh,
I can handle.
yeah. Hey, no,
So
that's
I might
yeah.
give myself a limit because I think I'm burning out.
I which is totally understandable. Like it's funny because like I always tell my wife, I'm like I got to do more, got to do more, got to do more because right now I pretty much got a show every weekend. I'm not traveling as far as you are, but there's still shows, and
Oh my God, incredible.
yeah, like it definitely, and we're booking a lot of them. So we're reaching out to venues, we're
Yeah.
booking the comedians, and we're putting a lot of work into it. And this is what you asked for, but it's like, man, sometimes it's nice to just like sit back and take a break for a minute.
Yeah, because the thing with comedy, because we do it all ourselves, like we're in control, we don't have that boss telling us like, okay, time to stop for the
Right.
weekend, or like we're like, oh my God, we have to do X, Y, and Z all the time because we're in control and we have to make it happen. And there's
Uh-huh.
not those like rules that like a 9 to 5 like has set in place where like, okay, it's 5 o'clock now, I'm done.
Right. Yeah. Go take a 15-minute break. Go sit down
Oh,
for a minute.
lunchtime. Oh, okay, I
Yep.
can clock out now. I feel like as comedians, we never clock out, and
No.
it's really exhausting.
Yeah. No. And I can imagine. And like, I'm not to the point where you are, like you're spending, a lot of time in cars and a lot of time, on planes and stuff like that. But is that hard to find time to like write new material?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I signed up. I'm really good with accountability, and I know
That's
that
cool.
about myself because I like school. I was a great student. I loved having to turn in homework, and I know I'm able
Mm,
to do that. So I try to set up as many things as possible to make it feel like I'm in school so that I have that accountability because, again, we're our own boss in stand up, and
yep.
I'm a very lenient teacher with myself. I don't need the writing turned in anytime. So I have a writing class. It's like I'm part of a screenwriting class right
Oh,
now. So I'm
okay.
holding
Nice.
myself accountable to write a script, which I would never do if I didn't have this class. So
Yeah, that's awesome though.
I'm also part of like a lot of writing groups. I try to
Okay.
just like put myself in any situation where I'm being held accountable. So I have to at least show up, which
Yeah.
will hopefully get my mind thinking in the writing
That's
space.
half the battle.
But I am in therapy as well. Another thing on my list,
Yeah.
and she said I have way too many things going on that are holding me accountable, and I need to stop with the accountability classes because I'm really overloading my
And you're
schedule.
just trying to add more. What else can I
Yeah, I'm
do?
like, okay, well, I have a writers group on this day, and then I have writing class on this day, and then I have this workout. Like, I'll make sure I have classes all day long, and it's a little much. So,
You're like, sorry, doc, I actually have an appointment. I'm gonna have to leave this session, and I'll be right
yeah,
back.
yeah. I mean, it's too much. I'm really, I'm really trying to work on balance right now.
Yeah. No, I totally like just from what and obviously social media it's exactly what you want people to see. So I can only imagine I'm only seeing, just a fraction of the things that you're doing and I'm like I can't even keep up with the pictures, let alone, like actually doing this in real life.
Oh my God, social media.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
I bet. Well, that's the other day, whenever I wrote you about, being on the podcast, which again I appreciate. My wife was like, "Have you heard back from Chase?" And I said, "Not yet." And then you wrote me like the next day, and you're like, "Sorry, I don't check my messages very often." And I was like, "Don't check it." Like that shit rings up on my phone. And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess that's what happens when you're a celebrity and you have like 30,000." Like you,
No,
you, no, you
I,
probably
I
get all
don't.
kinds of messages.
I also don't have notifications turned on.
Uh huh.
So it doesn't pop up. I have to like go into it,
Yeah.
and a lot of times it's I just don't even look.
Right. No, yeah, no, I don't blame you. I do that with Facebook because I get a lot of, like just random things, and like I always love talking to people and stuff, but it's just like it's such random stuff. Like I met some guy at a bar the other night and we started talking about comedy and he was telling me that he loved comedy and stuff. And then like he wrote me and this was like at midnight. And then like I went home because like we had just got done doing a show, and I got home, and then in the morning I check all of my stuff, and he had written me this like paragraph and like reciting everything that we said within the conversation and like what it meant to him. And I was like, I love the fact that he had such a good time, but I am so glad that I did not get that notification in the middle of me trying to sleep.
Yeah. I talked about like I did Josh Potter's podcast, and I talked about some bad dates I've been on,
Uh-huh.
and I've been getting a lot of like more than I think ever. I've been getting a lot of messages about, hey, let me take you out on a date.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of those messages right now. So
Well, do you want me to put your phone number at the bottom here? That way,
yeah,
just straight to it. They can be like, hey, by the way.
get straight to it now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like that's I'm not to that, that position where I have to worry about that, but that's something that my wife has, like been worried about because for some reason, which I'm not a very tall guy, but lately like every time that I do shows, if there's a female that is like much taller than me, she's like, "Oh, let me come show you how tall I am." And my wife is like, at what point
Your wife is so sweet, by the way.
Yeah,
I love her. Just so lovely.
yeah.
But that's so funny that she's like, excuse me.
Yeah, no. Well, and so on Saturday I had a show, and there was a woman, and I think she said she was like 5'11", and I'm like 5'3" on it with my shoes on, So yeah, you don't like I'm a little.
I know you're shorter, but I didn't know. You don't seem that short.
Well, see, that's because I wear it well.
Yeah.
But so she came up to me, and she like I've got the picture on my Facebook and Instagram, and she was just like, "Look how much taller I am than you." And then so we're talking about how like she doesn't like whenever short women will hit on her. I think he's like probably 6'4" fiance, because she's like, "I need him to feel normal," and she's like, "I can't be with guys like this," and like and my wife was like, "Well, I think he's fine." So so it's just
I'm sorry, that's a little rude.
yeah. And like so it's just
a little dismissive.
yeah, it's so weird how, like especially I think being comedians, people think that, like, well, I'll just say whatever I want, like that it's just a joke, which I mean like I don't care, but like it's just it's funny, the way that people's minds work when it comes to stuff like that.
I know. Yeah, they think like also I was talking to a comic friend of mine who like was in a social setting, and he was like, I think they assumed I was gonna be the like funny guy, outgoing guy.
Uh-huh.
In social settings, a lot of time comics are more like reserved and quiet and shy and socially awkward.
Right.
Which is why they're good at comedy. Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
able to like observe it, but
yeah.
Expected to be the clown at the party too.
Right. And honestly, like that's such a hard like expectation to live up to, because like I was class clown. I'm very loud and obnoxious, and like if I'm like at home, I'm always quiet, and like my wife will like tell me stories and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like, and it's not because I don't want to talk to her, it's just because like I'm just I'm relaxing. But outside of the house, I'm like I'm AC, like I'm wild, I'm funny, but like at some point, like your batteries do run out, and you're just like, all right, I can't keep this up. But people do expect you to just be like that 24/7. It's like, there's no way, like that's not sustainable.
Totally. Yeah. You need to, I'm definitely an introvert, meaning like I recharge being alone.
Right.
So
Exactly.
when I'm alone, I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because, like some of the videos that you've posted of Christina P, and like how as soon as she gets off the stage, like she just wants to like go sit down and relax, and like I need a separation, and it's like I feel that so much in my soul.
Yeah, it's like it's been nice in a way having COVID as an excuse, because after shows she used to go out and like talk to every single person, which is really draining. So
I bet.
Like excuse of, oh, COVID, we're not gonna go out and talk to you this time.
Yeah, we're gonna social distance a little bit, like that's do you ever do you ever bounce any ideas off of her or anything whenever you're trying to write stuff? Do you?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, Christina's the most supportive, like big sister figure, and she just like encourages me to try new stuff, and she's like, if you bomb, I don't care. You're still gonna open for me. Don't
That's
worry. I
great.
just want you to try stuff. And with that said, I should be trying a lot more stuff. I'm still scared of bombing. So I usually resort to like, okay, I know this joke's gonna work, so I'll say this joke. But yes, I'll totally run ideas by her. And she's definitely like helped punch up some jokes of mine. She'll like listen and be like, hey, maybe try this.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's where I've been having a hard time lately, with writing is like because I'm starting to right now. I've been doing I did like a tour and I did a half hour, like headlined and did half hour, but
Woo!
thank you. And so
Yeah.
now I'm trying to get to an hour, but I don't really. A lot of this material is kind of like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm outgrowing it. So like my goal is to write. Oh, I
I have
thought you were
something
like.
I have something to say when you're done.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I I think tightening up the 30 is all you need
Yeah.
because for now, because
Okay.
um, I just had lunch with Brittany Schmidt. She's a comic. I don't know if
Okay.
you,
Mm-mm.
so funny. And she said she just filmed her special and it was 30 minutes. And she
Mhm.
was saying like Amy Schumer, when Amy Schumer like blew up on the scene, it was just a 30-minute comedy
Okay.
special. And she made me feel better because I'm gonna be filming a special and I'm just doing my 30. And she
That's
was like,
awesome.
that's all we need at this stage is like a
Okay.
really tight 30. So almost don't even worry about getting to the hour. Just if that helps with
Yeah,
this,
no,
it
absolutely.
helps
See,
me. I was like, oh, good, okay.
yeah, no, absolutely. Because like a lot of the stuff, I feel like not that it's not good. It's just it's kind of almost pandering, and in some
Yeah,
of the places and some of the jokes. So like I really want to get rid of that, and I want to be more authentic to my own story. So that's why I figured maybe if I try and put more stories into it, then it would feel a lot more natural. But how do you get more stories? You go longer. But no, that actually does make a lot of sense. Just make it tighter.
yeah, yeah. Because whenever like I'm doing my set and it's like, oh, this got laughs, but it didn't get as many laughs.
Right.
Sorry, 1 second.
Oh, you're
I'm
okay.
so sorry. I'm doing this in the Okay, my roommate just got home.
Oh, that's okay. No,
Okay.
I was doing a podcast with one of my local comedy friends,
There she
and
is.
hey roommate, and he took a phone call, and I was like, hey, that's what Life is Cooler with AC is all about. I don't clip anything. It's all natural, so we just have fun. So as long as
So there's no editing. This is
no.
live. Oh,
It's not live, but it's I just like I put my theme song at the beginning and then like I fade in, like Life is Cooler with
yes.
AC, and then we do the whole thing, and then at the end I fade to black with my theme song, and that's it. You get
Well,
what
I
you
just
get.
love that. So shout out to Anna.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're not faking this. But going back.
I usually do this podcast in my room, and today I decided to do it just out in the living room. So
Hey, that's okay.
who knows who else will walk in?
Hey, that's all right. But so where are you filming your special?
The Bourbon Room in Hollywood.
Okay, when are you doing that?
August 26th at 8 p.m. I haven't promoted it yet because the ticket link isn't up yet. So as soon as
Okay.
that's up, I'll like be promoting.
That's awesome. No, congratulate. That's obviously why we all do this, is to do a special. So that's so exciting.
Yeah, I mean it's not like a Netflix special. It's
Oh, that doesn't matter.
just taping it and seeing where it sells and yeah.
Yeah. Do you have an avenue path like that you want to? Are you gonna like try and do where you can buy like a hard copy or buy like a digital copy or?
Oh, I haven't thought of that.
Well, let me know because I will buy one.
Oh, yes, because I think the plan is to put it on Amazon or Tubi at this point.
Okay.
So I don't think you'd even have to buy it.
Yeah, so like and obviously, you do what you want, but what I would do is I would do where you can pay, it's like $10 or something like that, and then like I'll send you the link or, it's like I
Like
don't
how you do WCK does it?
Yeah, exactly. And
Oh, that's
so then
so
that way, yeah, you're making a little bit off of it, and then it's not just like I've come to realize that the more you give people for free, the less they value it, But like if they're like, oh, I had to pay for this, well now I'm gonna pay attention.
Oh, now I really like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely let me know.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, that's all. That's so
You have
exciting.
to, I will. I will definitely let you know. And if you
Yeah,
happen to be in LA in August, also let me
I may try and figure out how to be in LA in August now. That's
know.
exciting.
But it'll
So,
be somewhere to watch. So yeah.
okay, yeah, absolutely. No, and I'm just curious, how long has it taken you to get to this point? Like to say, I feel like I'm confident enough to do a special to
Um,
tape it.
I started stand up in 2014,
Okay.
so that long.
Oh, so
How many years has it been?
are you using material like from the start, or have you just like started writing material at some point, between here and there, and you're like, this is gonna be that material?
No, this is a culmination of obviously jokes that I've written throughout the years are not
Okay.
my set, but like some jokes that from the very beginning are in there.
Okay, see, yeah, and that's great. That's awesome. Like, cause I always wonder, cause like that's again, stand-up comedy. It's not like a normal job, like you don't clock in, clock out. Well, it's also not like a normal job where you can just say, like ask your boss, like, hey, can you help me with this? So there's a lot of things that you don't know how to do. Like I've got friends that are like, oh, if you're gonna film a special, you don't do crowd work, and it's like, okay, like I feel that, but then do you know Andrew Schultz?
Yeah,
And he did a whole special on crowd work,
I
so it's
know.
like,
I will be doing crowd work.
okay,
Part of the act, so I have
yeah, see, no, and like I love crowd work. Like I do, I get kicked out of bars all the time because my crowd work is so
Oh my
aggressive.
God, I love
uh,
that. Of
like
course you do. That's so funny.
I do this bit where I talk about how like I'm little, and like everything about me is little, obviously, so like I don't have a dick, I've got a little boy pee pee. So I asked one of the crowd members, and I asked a couple, I said, does he have a big O dick? And they said, yeah, you can do that, and they kicked me out for it. And I when I asked why, they were like, this is a family restaurant, and I was like, oh, I was not told that. So definitely, like I get it, but yeah,
Were there kids in the crowd?
there weren't, but they
Okay.
were like, for future, like we're just not gonna do this again. And I was like, all right, yeah, that's probably fair.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Have you ever
I
been kicked out of a place?
No, I was about to say I've never been kicked out, but I know our material is very different.
Yes,
Where
it is.
I would say I don't offend anyone.
Yeah, I'm like, I try and push the boundaries so bad.
I know, that's so funny that you got kicked out.
Well, so because I remember, which I'm sure that the joke has changed, a ton since then. But where you did the joke about when you were in high school and you had a shirt that said 69 on it,
Joke has
like.
not changed.
Oh,
Joke is
well, I
it
love that
works.
joke, and so like I obviously haven't heard it in a couple of years, but like I always really liked that joke, so I wondered, like, did it get a little bit more aggressive? Did it get cleaned up? Like kind of like how you went about it.
I
But
bet I I bet it's tighter now.
yeah,
But I also look back at older clips and I'm like, "Oh, I was nervous. Oh,
yes,
I was not confident. I was faking it. It's just interesting to see like the more you do it, the more calm you get."
absolutely, yeah.
So we're getting
Uh,
another guest.
oh, that's okay. We'll tell them
We
hi
might be.
too. Yeah, well,
My dog went to the door.
oh.
Oh, we can't see him. Okay.
No.
Maybe it was just a mailman. Okay.
Yeah, hey, you never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, watching those old clips, it's funny because now, like, definitely, like in my local market, people are like, oh, Alex, he's comfortable. He, like, because I'll just go up on stage with no jokes and I'll just do crowd work for 15 minutes,
Wow.
and and like, I'm not saying
That's
it's
so
good.
scary to me.
Well, yeah, it's not always good, but like I'll do it, and my friends they went, yeah, like it's just something. So they'll go back and watch some of those older clips from Flappers and stuff, and they'll be like, "Wow, this is nervous, Alex. This is weird." Because like I remember like my first one, I just kept playing with that mic cable, and like I didn't even move the mic stand out of my face. So it's like I'm just so, and like I'm talking like I get excited and stuff, but like in that clip, everything's just like it's real cool. Like everything's just calm, and they're like, "What is this?"
Like, well, we were nervous.
Very. I know that the last show that we did, and I think about it all the time. You introduced me and you said, "This is one of my favorite comedians, Alex Cunningham." And then I bombed so hard. And
No,
so,
you didn't.
oh, yes, I even posted that one and I was like, this is me bombing on stage.
You did?
Yeah. And I was like,
have that memory.
and
well, we have different memories of that.
I'm glad you must have been laughing yourself. So you're like, yeah, no, everybody else loved it. They're laughing internally. So
yeah. No, those rooms are so even when people aren't laughing, it's like, okay, but they were enjoying it.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what
yeah.
I have to tell myself.
Right. Yeah, that's what keeps us sane. No. And like it's just so funny because looking back at those times, like even on Uncle Clyde's and everything, like I used to write new jokes before every set. Like I would never recycle jokes, and I've gotten past that. Where I'm working on a lot of things now. But when you try and do new stuff every time, it's like, of course, it's probably not going to go great.
That was me too. When I lived in New York, which is where I really started stand up.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I lived in New York for a few years, and I did my first stand up show in LA, but then like I really did it in New York.
Okay.
But I was part of this show monthly, and it was a stand up show, and I didn't know that I could do the same material.
Uh-huh.
That was honestly like really good practice though, because every month I wrote a new 5 minutes.
Right.
And so like I've obviously tossed out so many of those 5 minutes, but like a lot of the 5 minutes sets that I wrote for that are in my 30 minute, just because I had to like just write.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that you could do the same thing twice. And then I bombed, obviously. I bombed a lot.
That happens, yeah.
Material, you don't know. And one of the comics came up to me after and was like, you can do material that works. You don't have to do new material every time. And I was like, oh. Really?
That's how this works?
I thought I had to do a whole new 5 minutes every time.
Yep.
But I'm glad I didn't know, because it
absolutely
right so much.
Yeah, no, and again, going back to like you don't know who to ask, like luckily sometimes have really nice comedians that will like give you advice, or like you can kind of like bounce ideas off of. But I definitely think like I've got many notebooks that are just like full of like 5 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever, and I will go back and I'll be like, that's good. Like why did I stop saying that? And I'm like, oh, because I only said it one time. Like no wonder I forgot that I ever wrote it.
Yeah. But then there's other jokes too, just because the world changes so fast.
Right.
I'll go back and like a joke I made about gentrification in the neighborhood I lived in, and I'm like, oh, I could never say that. That's okay. But when I wrote it, it was funny.
Right.
And
absolutely.
Now it's not funny at all. Like I can't ever use that joke again.
Yeah. No.
So there's just because like times change so fast, it's also like, oh man, those were funny at the time.
Right. Yeah, no, and like it's funny too because I do a lot of just like ad lib, like while I'm on stage and like crowd work and stuff. And so the other night, it was last Saturday, I did a show and it was the day before Father's Day and Juneteenth. And so like I kind of riffed on that a little bit. And then yeah. So
what'd you say?
Well, we had 2 Black comedians on there, and they both did super well, but they were back to back, kind of sandwiched in the middle of like white people. So after the first one, I went back on stage and I said, everybody, just remember, tomorrow is Juneteenth, so we have to hit our quota. And then everybody laughed, but my wife was recording that, and she's like, "You want to post that?" And I was like, "No." like taken out of context, that sounds so bad. Like, we gotta hit our quota. Here's another black guy.
That's really funny.
It's like in the moment everybody loved it, but online I would probably be canceled.
Yeah, now that can't be floating around out there.
Yeah,
People will interpret it.
exactly. And that's what's so tough about, even like the older material where you're like, yeah, 10 years ago everybody said stuff like this, but like now, maybe probably shouldn't say it on stage.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and it does just change so rapidly. So you do have to kind of be cognizant of the things that you are saying.
Also, like I said, I don't consider myself offensive at all. And
Right.
like my sister and I were talking about some of the jokes I had when I was first starting out, and we're like, oh, that's offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was like very PC, and I wasn't.
Right, yeah. At least not in today's
At the time it
standards.
was, but no,
Right.
now no.
Yeah, no, and like it's neat kind of, like looking back, especially when you don't have video evidence, it's in a notebook that nobody will ever read, then it's funny. When you post it online, it's not as funny because then you really have like I've got videos that I used to do that were a little aggressive, and I have since gone back and been like, yeah, we're gonna make that one private.
Yeah, oh yeah, I do a lot of that. I get excited in the moment and want to share, and then I'm like,
Exactly.
how embarrassing.
Right.
That I did
Yep, yeah, like I'm one of those guys. I'm an asshole, should probably turn the volume off of this one.
that.
So I just want to go. I love just like jumping topics. Do you mind doing a question?
I love questions.
All right, let's do. So these are just random questions that I post, and anybody watching, go ahead and ask questions in the comments so we can add more. So I've just got a bunch of questions here that random people ask.
Cool.
Okay. All right. What did you do before the internet? By Alexis C, which would be my wife.
Well, before the internet, I mean,
You were like 5.
yeah, but like even then there was the internet. Because I mean, we are a '90s kid, right?
Well, see, it's a secret, so I can't quite tell you what I am. Today I posted that I was born in, the 2000s, and people started trying to do the math. So they're like, I don't know
think
when you
we're
were.
probably around the same age, but I don't know.
I don't know.
Before the internet, okay. Listen, I remember doing the Dewey Decimal System in elementary school. They were still teaching us that.
Yeah.
Everything was handwritten and turned in. I played a lot of like Zoom beanies and Sims, and like where you put the disc in the computer and play it.
What is that? You mean like a CD?
Yeah, but also, I would play Neopets, which was online.
Oh, yeah.
Before the internet.
See,
I don't think I was doing anything.
Yeah,
wasn't doing
I would
anything.
just sit in the corner. Yeah, like it's so hard. But like luckily, like I grew up without a lot, so like I was always outside. Like we had like a little PlayStation 1,
Yeah.
but like I was outside all the time, and like still I'm so stupid when it comes to like computers and stuff. So like I don't even know what to do with the internet. So
My dad worked for, or like, I don't know what he actually did with IBM, but there was like an IBM, you know how they had computers, IBM?
I think I have one right over there.
Okay, so there was something with IBM when I was a kid, and both me and my sister thought my dad invented IBM. We both talked about this recently. We're like, you thought he invented IBM? I thought he invented. We both thought our dad was the creator of IBM.
That's awesome.
He's not at all. I guess he had an IBM creator, but we grew up thinking he created IBM.
Did he? But did he actually work for them?
I don't think so.
No, you just created this story.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to my sister, and we have to figure out why we thought he created IBM. But we both thought that.
That's
For sure.
awesome.
Like we were certain that was his job.
Right. It's weird how like kids will just like come up with these ideas, and then it's like it doesn't matter fact, if it falls, like whatever, but like this is true now because it was my idea.
Yeah, I mean, what a simpler time.
Oh, absolutely.
Internet, like, and I definitely think I have a ton of nostalgia for the '90s because it was so simple and it moved
Right.
so fast that like crazy that, again, I don't know how old you are. Maybe you were born in 2000. I'll try to guess. I'll figure this out. But, even so, you would have like remembered some time where it was like pretty simple, and it's so like it seems so much, life just seems so simple
Yeah,
when I look
no,
back on it.
absolute. Like I think about, like I see all these kids with these phones and stuff, and I'm just like, what are you doing? You're like, you're 7. Like, who bought you this iPhone? Like, that's the newest. I don't even have the newest model, and I have a job. I've got like 3 jobs. Like, and I can't. Like, what do you do? Who are you texting? You can't even spell your own name.
Wait, that should be part of your stand-up.
It should, but it's like
Yeah, you can't even spell. How can you have a phone?
well, and it's crazy because like I have friends who have kids, and they'll say, like, oh, I'm texting my kid, and I'm like, your kid is legitimately in 2nd grade. Like, what are they saying back to you? Did you like make pre-settings that say yes and no, and you just ask them like really direct questions? I don't like.
Yeah, no, I babysat for a long time, and it was so normal for the kids to text and have their phone, and yeah.
See, well, I mean, like maybe that's a good thing because like I still can't read very good, so so maybe having a phone when you're younger like that will make your brain work a little bit better. Maybe that's
Yeah,
where I went wrong.
now it's just the norm. Now it's like
Yeah,
weird if you don't have a phone.
exactly. Yeah, like I've seen kids like throw a fit because like they don't have like a fancy phone to go to school, and I've heard that in like schools now they want you to use your phone, which is strange. I had my phone taken away from me so many times in high school. Did you do? No, you probably didn't do that. I was gonna.
Had my phone taken away from me.
Yeah, you were a good kid.
I was a very good kid, but I'm not surprised you got your phone taken away a lot.
Yeah, like I legit like this is one of my worst times having my phone taken away. It was the first day of I don't know one of the grades, and I was in English class, and the teacher was telling all the students, she's like, just so you know, I have a very strict phone policy, and if I see your phone, Cunningham, what are you doing? And I was on my phone and I was like, shit. Like, yep, of course. Like she's talking about it first day and she would not give it back for like a week. And like those were the days when you could do that because like who was I talking to? Like some girl in a class next to,
Yeah,
like where now it's like that. I feel like that's a abuse on a child if you take their phone.
it's abuse if you take anyone's phone.
Yeah.
You're taking their life.
I know exactly. Well, like it's weird. We'll just kind of tie it back into comedy. Like I don't like social media at all, but it's like with social like comedy, you almost need that social. I mean, look at your TikToks. Like you're killing it in TikTok, and so
Oh, that's
when
so
you
nice. I don't think I am. So thank you.
no, I'm always watching your dances where you duet with everybody, and I'm like, this is so funny because first off, I don't like this is my dance. It's
Oh,
all in my yeah, it's all on my shoulders all the time. Like so one of my favorite guys to do comedy with, he's a black dude and he can dance. And he's always like, what he's like, what's up with white dudes always putting it in their shoulders? He's like, put it in your hips. And I'm like, nah, you don't want to see that.
oh.
So if you yeah, there you go. See, we need to make a
Listen,
TikTok.
dance. I grew up dancing. I have so many years of dance training that I'm so much more comfortable dancing than doing comedy.
Really? That's
Oh my gosh,
awesome.
dance is like my number one. Yeah.
Well, that makes
So
sense.
it just comes easy. I like doing those.
Yeah, no, and like every time I'm just like, how and like, can you see what they're doing when you're recording it?
Um, barely. It's pretty small.
Is it
I learned the dance.
that? Yeah, that's what I figured, and I was like, you just nail it every time. You're like, your timing is better than theirs, and I'm just like, I don't know how that like.
Yeah, thank you. It's because I have a lot of years of dance under my belt. I've
Okay,
had
we'll
my
see.
10,000 hours of dance.
That makes me not feel so bad because I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man,
But it's it looks easy, but it's takes a lot of years of dance, I think,
right.
to learn the most ridiculous whatever they're
I
doing.
know. Well, and that's what's so funny is that it's like it took all of those hours to get here.
I
Like
know all that
I
dance training is so I can copy really bad dances on TikTok.
on TikTok.
My parents are so proud.
all those times where I had to go to practice and I would sweat and it was hot and I would cry because I don't want to be there. Look what I'm doing now with my
That's
life.
what I did with dance.
It's
It all paid off.
it all made sense in the end. My wife was she did dance and like all of that stuff. And so at our wedding, it was really fun because we did one of those hands on the hips, rock back and forth. And yeah, and she was like, "Why did you not learn how to dance for this?" And I was like, "Girl, this is me trying." Okay.
Girl, I
Yeah.
know how to dance.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry that you and Chase did 17 years of dance, okay?
Yeah.
But me over here, this is what I can do. Don't make me start doing this on you now.
Uh-oh. Well, that's at least you can do that. I always say it's in the shoulders.
Oh, see?
And then you go like this. You go, oh, what's that?
Hmm.
You go, oh, what's that? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. See?
Oh,
Yeah.
uh-oh, the shoulders are moving. Yeah.
Can you roll them like that? Is that a
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Wow, I'm going to name this episode Learn How to Dance with Chase O'Donnell.
It's really just a shimmy, a confident shimmy, and no one will question your dance ability.
See, I'm going to start going into the clubs now, and when people are like, "Nah," I'm going to be like, "Actually, I have proof that this works. Let me show you a video that I recorded." Okay? This this is from a reliable source.
Mm-hmm.
She did 10,000 hours of dance.
Mm-hmm.
She knows.
I know. It's just in the shoulders. And then the eyebrows. If you lift the eyebrows.
Oh yeah. See? And then I like to do one of these numbers.
Then you're performing, and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
And I think the mustache really sets it off, It kind of makes me look like a figure skater.
Oh.
See? I saw Top Gun. Okay.
I saw it twice.
Wow. See, now I'm jealous. I was doing we did comedy last night, and there was another guy with a mustache, and I went up to him and I said, "You're an asshole." And he said, "Why?" I said, "Because you've got a mustache over there, and you didn't come over here and say hi."
I'm sorry. I won't do this in the living room.
Hey, I love the fact that you have to explain what we're talking about. Can they hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Hello.
Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. I was just talking about the mustache, and I saw another guy with a mustache, and I told him that he was an asshole for not coming, and standing with me, because right now we're all kind of like hated because everybody's like, "Oh, you just grew a mustache because of Top Gun," and you're like, "Absolutely right." So we're having this conversation, and he said, "No, believe it or not, I had a mustache before Top Gun, and I dislike you as well." And I was like, "All right, well that makes sense." Like I kind of am an asshole for growing it and acting cool.
No, mustaches are in now.
They are, and I've never been trendy, so it's weird. Like actually, and I think I grow a pretty good mustache. I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. You're the only person. My wife likes it. Like.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
As long as your wife likes it.
Yeah, that's all that matters, and really tall women. We're gonna do another question. I love these questions.
Let's see.
All right. Oh, this will be a good one. So this is the fuck, marry, kill. You know that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course.
So you got Channing Tatum, Ryan Reynolds, or Ben Affleck?
Okay, kill Ben Affleck.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, Ben. I would fuck Channing Tatum and marry Ryan Reynolds.
See, that's interesting. And I'm going to tell you why it's interesting. Because Ryan Reynolds I feel like he'd be hard to live with. Because he is one of those people that's always like 100% all the time. Would you be able to put up with that? Like, I don't want to say cockiness, but he definitely has that, that swag about him.
I mean, between the three, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like I think Channing Tatum's great, but I actually would prefer to be married to Ryan, like an everyday presence, Ryan Reynolds. I think he's so funny and he would just make me laugh.
Okay, well, yeah, and he definitely would make you laugh.
I just think he's on all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at every interview, every time you ever see this man, he's just like, he's on it. I don't know why I'm blanking on his wife's name right now.
That's okay. Blake Lively?
Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like Blake has to have some really thick skin.
Really? I think he seems great.
No, yeah, no, I think he's great. I just think that he's like he would be like if I was in a reverse role with my wife where she was the funny one and I was the quiet reserve. Like I don't think I would be able to handle myself. And I know Ryan Reynolds is just like 3 levels above me, so I'm like I would probably cry a lot.
I cry a lot anyway.
Okay, well then yeah.
Yeah,
So
then we're fine.
yeah. See,
Yeah,
I would go. I would
what
definitely.
would you do?
You what?
What would you do? What were your
Oh, I would definitely marry Ben Affleck.
okay?
And the reason why is because I fucking love a Boston accent.
Oh, okay.
So just having that around the house and just being
Wow,
like,
we were opposite there. I killed him immediately.
I know, and that's why my eyebrows went up and I wasn't dancing. I was like, wait a minute now, Batman, you killed Batman. But definitely, I think that I would have to. It'd be a toss up between Channing Tatum and Reynolds there. I think I'd probably have to bang Ryan Reynolds. Just
Okay.
just because like Channing Tatum, he's such a big man that I would just feel like such a little boy, and that just feel wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so you're killing Channing Tatum. Channing
Yeah.
Tatum.
Yeah. See, so we are totally opposite. That makes sense.
Yeah, we are.
Well, it's funny. So, total opposites is how do you and Christina P mesh as far as like comedy styles on stage? Like, do
Um,
you?
I think it works because we're very different. So it's not like the audience is seeing two of the same points of view back to back.
Right.
We have very different points of view. So
Okay. Yeah, and see, like, so that's what I was kind of wondering if it was weird because I know that I've been on shows before where it's like all the same comedy throughout. And it's like if you get one of those crowds that doesn't like it at all, then that kind of turns a lot of people off real quick. Where obviously whenever they're going to see Christina P, they know exactly what they're getting. But so then you come out there and I mean, I always see the pictures and everything of, like all the crowd and, like posting and tagging you and stuff, which is phenomenal. But it's great that you can take her fans.
Audience.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know it's really surprising that they like my comedy because it's so different than Christina's. So it's really cool that they also can like relate to it.
Yeah, and like, but that's what's so neat about comedy is that like it's just so it's so easy to be in the moment. You know what I mean? Like you don't necessarily like I feel like my stuff is very sexual, a lot. And I don't mean it to be, but that's just kind of how like how my brain works. But then I also have like a really dark side where, like I talk about, like the death of my parents and stuff. So you really have to make people be able to like see this while you're saying it, so if you're good at what you do, then you can make anybody relate to it. So it's kind of neat how you can take all these different perspectives and, like, and make one audience, and enjoy so many different flavors.
Yeah, it is cool. That like someone like who I would not expect at all to be laughing, like, I don't know, a older, middle-aged, like motorcycle guy with tattoos and piercings is like laughing at my stuff. I'm like, oh, would not have thought he related to my sense of humor. This is
Right.
great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, and like, and that's why I feel like comedy is like the universal language,
Yeah,
like laughter is just, it's so
it's
easy.
so fun to laugh.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
fun to laugh, isn't it?
Laughing and dancing is definitely, I feel like.
Oh, what a fun day if you can.
Well, I know that we're hitting an hour here, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. But I do want to ask you. So a lot of times, like I ask people, like to give some like advice and stuff, like to other comedians. But I feel like I get the same general. It's like just try it, just get on stage and just try it,
Yeah.
But I would like to kind of pick your brain a little bit on like do you have any advice to comedians that, like are currently in the game, but are trying to get to where you are now? Because I feel like you're hitting a milestone, and I think that that's great. And, like, I applaud you. You're doing phenomenal. But kind of just be that teacher for somebody for, just a minute.
Yeah, it's so interesting. For so many years, like starting from when I was like 15, I was like, this is what I want. I want to be an actor. I want to be a comedian. I want to be in the movies. I want to be on TV. And I like was so like driven and like, if I'm not doing X, Y, and Z by the time I'm this age, then I haven't made it and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And I think I got to be honest. None of that happened. Like everything that I was like, I want this by this age, like it didn't happen. And I was
Uh-huh.
so like, "Argh." And I had to like, once I released all that and was like, honestly, just jaded,
Yeah.
whatever, I don't care. The minute I had this like I don't care attitude is when things started happening.
That's
So
awesome.
I don't know like if I could have told myself younger to not care because like
Hmm.
I would be faking not caring. I had to
Right.
get to the point where like after 15 years of like hustling every minute and like putting in every second and blood, sweat, and tears into this career and everything I want, and then just rejection, 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 rejection. It had to get me to a point where I was like, this is the worst. Why do I
Yeah.
want this? I don't care. I want a normal life. I want a
Yeah.
9 to 5. I want to, like, what am I doing? And I had to get to that point for the not caring in order to like let things happen. It's so interesting. The second I stopped really caring or like forcing things, my career has actually like I do believe in like the energies and manifestation and just
Yeah.
like when you're on that wavelength of like, okay, I surrender.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens. All I can control is writing and showing up and doing the work, but I'm not gonna like put these huge goals anymore that like I have
Right.
to hit and I'm gonna like I I don't know. Once I was on that wavelength of like whatever, I don't care. It's so interesting that the universe is like, okay, now that you don't care, here you go.
Yeah. Well, like that's awesome, and like it definitely is working. But you made a really good point, that although you are surrendering to, like be it, the universe, just universal energy, whatever you want to, however you want to word it, you still have to put the work in, so like
Yeah.
you said,
So
still
it's
show
like
up and write.
doing the work because you love it and not expecting anything from it.
Right. Absolutely.
Truly just doing it to do it. And then letting whatever's supposed to happen happen instead of I think a lot of times I was doing the work because it might get me X, Y, and Z, and this might happen because of
That
that,
makes sense.
not because like I'm just like I just love doing the work,
Right.
doing it for like an external thing to happen. And so once I changed that mindset, I do think that's healthier. And like I allowed things to organically happen. And another like perfect example, I'm going out of town on a manifestation retreat
Oh, that's cool.
with my mom, and I'm so excited. We're going to Greece, and
Oh,
I
wow.
I was like in my emails there was like a random like submit for this commercial,
Hmm.
and so I did. I was like, whatever, I'll submit. And then I saw that it was going to be filming when I was supposed to be in Greece. So the energy, honestly, I was putting out was like, I don't care. I don't want to book this because if I
Yeah.
book it, it's going to add a lot of stress into my life and blah, blah.
Right.
I booked it and I don't think it's a coincidence. I think I went into the audition being like, I don't want this.
Yeah,
Really,
exactly.
this isn't gonna be good if I get this. And
Uh-huh.
whatever energy that was, I was putting out there. I was like, of course I booked it because
Right.
I didn't care. And anytime I've had that in my life where I've been like, ugh, God, I don't care, just do it. That's when it's happened, and I don't know what that universal magic is, but that's what happens.
Yeah, no, and that's awesome, and clearly it's working. And I mean, honestly, congratulations, you're doing so much, and like
Thank
I'm proud of
you.
you. Like I know
Thank
that
you.
we don't talk all the time, but I definitely I'm always watching you, and like it's an honor to still be, like in your circle.
Oh,
So
Alex, you're
I
so
definitely.
sweet, and I'm so happy to know you and that we get to be on this journey together. Because we're in this together. We're the same class of comedians. We'll always be like, we did this together.
Yeah,
We're on the
exactly,
way up together. But yeah,
from the
I
start.
I am jaded, but I also am very grateful for
Oh, absolutely.
for everything that's happening. I'm like, oh, this is like everything I wanted.
Yeah,
I'm real. I do realize how lucky I am that these opportunities have been happening.
absolutely.
It just took me getting very yeah, just very jaded for it
Yeah,
all to.
but you got to remember these situations or opportunities didn't just happen. You've worked really hard for them, and like that shows through. Like with everything that you're doing, like you are a very hard worker. And
And
I
helping up because I think we could either of us could have given up at any time. It
oh,
gets
absolutely,
it's very 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 hard to feel rejection over and over again.
yeah,
And the older we get, the more people just stop because it's so hard.
yeah,
And I've always heard if you just keep going, eventually things will happen
yeah,
because you're still going. In other
right,
words,
exactly, yeah. As soon as you give up, as soon as you quit, it's done. The opportunity's gone.
yeah. So we do it because we love it and don't
Exactly.
expect anything from it. And then when things happen, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, and that's the truth, like fall in love with what you're doing, because if you love it, then the rest of it, like it's just icing on the cake, like but doing what you love all the
Um,
time is
thing.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Before I forget, I'm still going to remind you. Do you see my wall back here? All these
Oh,
signatures and stuff.
yeah. Did I?
Uh,
I never sent you a poster, did I?
mm.
Okay.
See?
Well, will you message me your address again? I'm sure you sent it at one point, and I.
I've moved since then, so yeah, I'll send it
You
to
were
you.
in Indiana at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm glad that you didn't send it, because I was actually my wife wrote me while I was at work, like a day or two after we had talked about that, and she's like, just so you know, we're moving to Texas. So had you sent it, I would not have got it. So yeah, so that works out.
Send me your address. You're gonna get a
And you got
post.
to sign it.
I will sign it and write a fun message. What do you want it
Good.
to say, or should I surprise you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna request it. You got to say, be like
Well, it comes from
whatever.
the heart.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be authentic. But thank you so much, honestly, for doing this. I know that you're busy, and like it truly does mean a lot. And it was so great catching up with you,
I'm
because
so good catching up with you.
and
Thank you so much.
you're welcome, and thank you. And I hope that we get the chance to share a stage again soon, because like you're just honestly you're one of my favorite comedians.
We
Like, and I'm not
will.
just saying that. You're killing it. So
I think
thank
we
you so
will.
much.
Anytime in Austin, because Christina's out there now. So next time we go to Austin, I'll reach out so we can maybe hit up some mics or whatever. We'll
Yeah,
just
absolutely. Oh, she moved here.
yeah,
Oh, that everybody is. I mean,
everybody is.
yeah, so it
Yeah,
just makes sense.
I
And
know.
so tell her that she's going to be on here one of these days. I'm going
I
to have
will.
my people reach out to her people, and
Yep.
by my people, I mean you.
Okay.
But no, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm definitely going to send you a message with my address, because I need that. So,
Okay.
all right.
Look out for it.
And thank you guys for watching. Again, Chase O'Donnell. I'm gonna put all of her socials down, and your website and everything. So
Well,
check
thank
her out. She's awesome. She's gonna be the next big
you.
thing. I know it.
Help me out. Would you be a doll?
Yeah, just do it, okay? And
Just do
then
it.
yeah, and then
Alex out while you're at it.
oh, they check me out all the time. They're like,
Yeah, they're always checking you
yeah,
out.
with that
Okay.
mustache.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, have a good night. That's it. And
Okay.
then